Welcome to ITS's celebration of UN75 with the Young Changemaker Incubator. My name is Michael Lee, right, and I'm the director of the YCI. And today we are here with Kenneth Kwok, right, representing MXA, and a great team of young female entrepreneurs, right, who are currently developing something called Shall We Talk. So I'll let their founder introduce themselves. Sammy, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Sure. My name is Sum Yee, and you can call me Sammy. I've just turned 17, and I'm from Hong Kong. I'm currently a second-year theater major at Dean College.
Thank you for that,
That's
Sammy.
very succinct. I like that. Wait, so Sammy, I think we're all very interested to know why mental health. I mean, just a bit of background, right? Shall We Talk is about mental health. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Well, can you explain what got you excited to establish this UN75 initiative?
Sure. I think I've always been an advocate for social change for as long as I remember. And I've really started taking action since I was 13 years old, where I started a business, Family Slimes, in response to teenage stress, and I've been continuing to do awareness work. But my interest and focus on youth mental health is very personal, and I think my personal story and my past experience makes me so interested into the cause. As a young woman, I once was debilitated by depression. And because I was going through that before, I was able to recognize the kind of existent inequality and heavy stigma that surrounds mental health, and more importantly, the lack of youth-friendly mental health resources in the city. And I believe that my most desperate and darkest hours of my life was my last 2 years of high school. And I was just in the state of refusing to believe that my life would ever get better. And I don't think it would be possible for me to be happy at all. But luckily, I was really lucky to encounter my year 9 business teacher. And she wasn't a professional psychologist or therapist, and she doesn't even have a degree on psychology, but what she was my supporter, and she was my listener. And I remember thinking, for the first time after so many years of pain and shame and suffering, I found hope, and eventually I found my road to recovery. And after finishing grade 10, I went to college in the States to pursue my lifelong dream, to study theater and become an actress. I started up Shall We Talk Foundation in June 2020 in the heights of COVID-19. The pandemic has made a lot of mental health problems an emergency more than ever. Teens are wrestling with many challenges due to the lack of mental health resources to cater to their needs. This unsettling time points to the new approaches to the provision of mental health services, new types of solutions, new attitudes, and the use of new technology to support teenagers. This change was always already happening, but slowly, and it was very difficult to see how it actually might ultimately affect youth. At the same time, I saw COVID-19 as a time of opportunity to catalyze dialogue within the youth community, innovate strategies, and take action to advance mental health and well-being. Under the guidance of my two amazing mentors, Kenneth and Mike, I took the opportunity to take the first step to creating social change as a young leader and working towards sustainability goals. Shall We Talk represents an open invitation to the community. We recognize that traditional approaches and methods of mental health support are no longer sufficient to address the unique barriers of youth seeking help. We focus on bridging the gap through humanizing mental health contexts, through education, developing and offering mental health support that are youth-driven and youth-friendly. As you know, we are a youth-led organization. That's why we involve as many teens that come from diversified backgrounds and communities as much as possible. Together, we are united to work towards a common cause. I think in a sense that teens really do understand teens better, and they also know what works for them. With my first initiative, Project AngelLine. It is a virtual from teen to teen matching support program. We are taking a larger step to tear down the stigma, and we are empowering and educating one teen at a time.
I mean, Sammy, do you see my backdrop right now?
Yes, I do.
Do you recognize some very familiar SDGs that is related to your project?
Yes, I do. I recognize good health and well-being, mental SDG number 3, and
Mm-hmm.
10, reduce inequalities, and I
Mm-hmm.
also have another one that's 4.
Quality education,
Mhm.
that's right. So Mike, why don't you handle the next one? Unfortunately, Mike doesn't realize he's on mute, and I make that mistake all the time too.
Thank you, Kenneth. Goodness. What was I even saying? Well, I just wanted to thank you, thank you for sharing that, Sammy. It's very clear that you've thought this out, right, for hours and weeks and months. And it seems like, the early part of your life has kind of led you to this, right? And I just want to say to, all of you sitting here and all of you out there, right, that we tend to find solutions to things that are problems in our lives, right? Like we just have to look around to realize that our lives aren't perfect. And it's very easy for us to just kind of, step up and say, how can we be part of the solution? And I think that it's also very commendable, right, that, even without experience, you're taking that as an advantage, right? I know, Sammy, that you're doing this youth for youth, and you found that, it's actually more effective, right, for youth to be helping other youth because they can kind of sympathize with each other a little bit better.
Yes.
So I have another question for you, which is, can you tell us a little bit more about Project AngelLine? First project we
Sure,
shall we talk.
definitely. Yes, I would love to. Project AngelLine means angel on the line. The philosophy behind us, it's basically us taking the first step to change how teens in the Greater Bay Area receive report. And how we do it is combining traditional and non-traditional support approaches and materials. As I've mentioned before, I sort of took my first step towards recovery because of the support of my business teacher. And at the at the time, I really didn't need a solution. I just remember I really needed someone to understand me, someone to listen to me, and I just needed an everything is going to be okay. That's all I needed. And my past experience and my personal story has led me to question how teens can and will receive support in the future. And due to this, I have a very unique insight to develop a program that incorporates scientific research and personal empathetic support. As I do not reject the importance of therapy and medication, I believe there is equal importance to offering a safe space for teens to talk about their problems with other teens, where they can be met with comforting words and positivity, because that is also key to the healing process. And I've always known that mental health cannot be explained or even cured or alleviated through pure empirical means. And understanding that holds the key to appreciating why this period of change is so potential and so fundamental to creating a stigma-free community. And that is when I've started developing Project AngelLine. So what Project AngelLine does is that Project AngelLine connects the youth in need to an angel, which is a teen mental health specialist based on FIT. The program is uniquely designed to be very flexible, safe, and accessible. Youth can schedule multiple meetings per week with their angels. And our angels are our dear teen volunteers that undergo training and shadowing sessions. And one thing that's super special about Project AngelLine is that they're equipped with the Project AngelLine manual. It is derived from multidisciplinary research, including fields of drama therapy, psychotherapy, psychology, and theater, and common knowledge like how to be a good listener, how to support a friend going through mental health. I think we include all that in that manual. And it is such a strategic opportunity for angels to become trained active listeners that support both empathetically and professionally at the forefront role. And currently, we've just completed conducted our first batch of test marketing. We are beginning to examine what the new world of mental health support will look like, where and how it would happen, and whether the switch will actually improve a teen's mental health well-being. And the results are shockingly surprising.
And I've also seen you've brought 3 guests with you. Can you please tell us about them? And
yes, they're Project AngelLine volunteers and partners.
all right, and each of you are now, maybe you can speak up in turn. Maybe I'll start with you, Jacqueline. Can you share a little bit about your experience, working with Project AngelLine?
Hello, I'm Jacqueline. Being part of the Project AngelLine is an extremely rewarding experience for me. There is so much to take away from this program and the training sections. I've learned so much, ranging from the professional coping strategies to being a good listener and responder. This is a learning opportunity that enhances both professional and career soft and hard skills.
And Sum Yee?
Hello, I'm Siwang. This program really can help so many teens in our society. And I have helped a teen that was facing family and school issues, and we spent 30 minutes talking in our first session. And she left the conversation more confident than she was. Just hearing another teen say, "Thank you, I've never told anyone about this before and I need the virtual hug. Now I feel great," makes my day.
And last but not least, Jade.
Hello, I'm Jade. I think that everyone has some moments of their life that they felt upset and down, and I have so many friends that need this type of support rather than only therapy and pills. I truly support the cause and the idea of teen-to-teen support.
I think, just listening to the 4 of you reminds me of a webinar I took, I think 9 days ago, which was held by both United Nations and World Economic Forum on exactly this topic, the impact of COVID-19 on the mental health of youth. 37% of adolescents ranging from 12 to 21 have expressed suffering from varying levels of anxiety, depression, and frankly, even thoughts of, darker things. And I truly believe what the 4 of you have come together and integrated your skills and, more importantly, your passion for looking after each other is very both symbolically meaningful and concretely tangible. So back to you, Sammy. Now that you have done your test trials, you have this amazing team. How do you see yourself building on this impact? Because after all, as you know, a good impact project never ends in 3 months. It's supposed to be an ongoing initiative.
Definitely. We definitely see that. I do definitely see that point. I think Shall We Talk Foundation is making a very bold and dramatic move because we're beginning to change how teens receive support in the Greater Bay Area. And a radical change in thinking like this will definitely open up new conversations, new horizons around youth mental health. And this is what makes this a very historical turning point in attitude and practices, because the effects of Project AngelLine will be felt from today and to by every single teen in need in the future. And at the same time, we are also taking a very active step to involve as many teens into our large formula of change. This is very rare because I think most mental health and hotline pages, they have a age requirement for volunteering or even asking for help. Of course, as Kenneth said, we are only at the start and there is so much work to be done. And our next step includes R&D, research and development, proof of concept, and eventually I aim to establish Project AngelLine as a digitized ecosystem. And together, we want to lead our new generation to work towards creating a community of hope, empathy, and inclusion where mental illnesses will no longer become a barrier for us to grasp opportunities or from living the lives of our dreams.
Right. And I think it's so important to address the fact that when you are not okay. What's that new song from Demi Lovato? It's okay not to be okay.
Oh, I
Sorry,
love her.
I am
Dear.
trying to keep track of pop music, but at my humble age, it's kind of difficult sometimes. It's like Demi who, right? So
Love her.
I mean, Mike, have you heard the latest single from Demi Lovato?
No, I haven't, you know. I think you're pandering to a crowd that's not my generation. Girls, you all know Demi Lovato.
Yes, I loved her. Her fight for mental illness since she was young. She suffered from depression and multiple eating disorders. And her music, I grew up with her music. She was my idol. And yeah, it's just she's really a big
Fantastic.
impact.
You know, and we can inspire in all sorts of different ways, right? Like she doesn't necessarily inspire because of the work. Maybe she does some work outside, you know, with mental health, but she inspires because, you know, she's successful in her own way, right? And overcome these mental health things, right? And I think we all need a hand. I'm sure she would say, right, that she had some help, you know, along the way, right? And I know that there's no real replacement, right, for exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to get, you know, people to talk with each other, right, talk out their problems. But if you did have, you know, just if you could distill your advice, right, to anyone who's struggling with mental health or going through a certain depression, you know, what could you say to them?
Let me think about this. This is a hard one. I would want to tell all the teens that are struggling that you are not your diagnosis, nor the emotions or your feelings that you are expressing or you're experiencing. Your mental illness does not have to limit your potential, and your past experiences do not define you in any way. Please, please remember that you're a very capable, strong, important person, and you have a lot to offer to this world. That's that's what I would say.
Very powerful words.
Well, Mike, I'm not sure how you feel about this, but you know, having four strong female young leaders on this amazing project out of Hong Kong and clearly led by ITS, thanks to you, you know, I would just love, you know, in the upcoming months to help showcase more the great work that Shall We Talk Foundation does to various youth organizations, societies, as well as even maybe schools in Hong Kong. And Sammy, don't be shy here. I think you probably have more Instagram followers than I do. So we should definitely do some social media outreach, right?
Yes, a lot. Get the synergy going and get the youth in.
Right. And I think Jade, Sewing, and Jacqueline also now all on LinkedIn. Is that right? Right? Good. Then we can help also spread the word amongst the teachers as well. Because sometimes I believe, you know, while peer-to-peer is an amazing, we also have to let the people that look after the education of young children or youth be aware of the resources of AngelLine. So that's pretty much it from my side. Mike, would you like to do a quick,
Fantastic, yeah.
you know, summary to wrap up this call?
Well, you know, we're so proud of, you know, having worked with you, Sammy, and, you know, very nice to meet, you know, part of your team. I know from our conversations, you know, how much you put into this, you know, on the surface, right? I know that what you're trying to do, but I know actually getting it to work has been, you know, a headache in a lot of different directions, right? So, you know, to any of you out there trying to make a difference, right? It will take struggle, it will take work, right? It'll take preparation, right? Like this, what you see on this call right now, you know, is just 15, 20 minutes of, you know, several months in the making, right? But if you do care about something enough, right, and find that thing for you, right, then I know that you can just be like Sammy and her friends here and Shall We Talk Foundation, right? And you can actually make a dent in the problem that you see, you know, because us adults, you know, we're oblivious of, you know, your depression, we're oblivious of Demi Lovato, and you know, it's good to, you know, sort of reach out and help each other. So thank you, girls, for all being here. We really appreciate it, and we're all very proud of you. And congratulations on the work you've done so far.
Thank you, Kenneth and Mike. You guys are amazing and inspiring.
All right, take care. Catch up soon.
Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.